Hey everybody, Mr. Bookyboo here, and I'm coming to you with a mini city update. Now I know I said I've been trying to get more content up on my channel, more videos more often, and so this is one of my first attempts at doing that. Instead of a full city update, today what we're going to focus on is one specific area of Bricksburg, and it's an area that I've really been working hard on the last few days, and it's really come together really nicely. So if you follow on Instagram, you've already kind of seen the work in progress bits of it, but I wanted to kind of just show you more in detail this area right here, this transition that goes from Hogwarts to the city proper back here. And if you remember in my last video, I had this kind of modular mountain that was like kind of sat right here, but it didn't really fit in with anything because it was literally a modular mountain. Because my intent was to be able to move it around, just to kind of have something in place, and it was supposed to be a scene block or a transition from one area to the next, but I wasn't really happy with it because it was too uniform. It was really like cookie cutter. The sides of the mountains were all identical on both sides. The trees were like identically placed. There was 2 trees on each terrace of it, and it really excuse me, it really just wasn't very it was just too structured, too uniform. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to tear it apart. Let's start over and let's take a step back and let's look at this area and let's see what we can do to make it maybe look a little more natural and look like something that kind of fits together. And the end result is what you see right here. Now I'm still kind of doing a little bit, adding details and stuff, but the core foundation is all kind of in place here. So what I've done is I ripped out that old modular and I just kind of started building a little bit. I just started placing burps here and there just to kind of get a feel for what I could do. And what I ended up doing was kind of making the mountainside a part of like the city structure. So whereas I used to have a retaining wall right here at the bottom of the city, and then again that mountain like island almost over here, what I've done instead is I've actually taken the mountain and it's actually a part of the city now, which kind of makes it all flow together. It looks like it belongs there. It looks like it's always been there. And I think it just looks a lot better to me. It just flows better. And it just kind of fits this area a lot better. So what we can do is we can zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see some of the detail. So the other thing, because I really wanted to get away from the uniformity of the old design, is I have all these little terraces on here, and all the foliage and trees are all kind of at different levels, different heights, and it all just kind of is kind of this random mishmash of what it would kind of look like in nature if you actually saw this, something similar in real life. So what we can do is we can pan around so you can just get a better look at kind of what we got going on here. So we have this nice corner. These are corner burps right here that go up. I like the corner burps because they're really blocky. Excuse me, as opposed to like the more smooth normal burps like these guys right here. These are the normal ones, and these are the main structure of most of my mountain building. This here is the corner, and you can see the corner is a lot more blocky, and it kind of looks more like falling rubble and stuff like you'd see at the edge of a mountain. And so this is basically 2 burps, corner burps right here. Excuse me, and then this leads into more of the standard burps over here. So there's like 2 of them here, and then it goes up to 3 high here with a bunch of brick slopes and cheese wedges, a few odds and ends with bricks and whatnot, and some foliage just to give it kind of that jagged mountain appearance. And then it continues on up from there. Now on the other side, it's very similar. There's some burps down here. They're lower, and you actually see there's like a terrace down here. There's another one that goes up here, and then there's more continuing down this way. It kind of goes down to a V shape down here. Now I know some of you online have said I should build a cave. I didn't think about that until after I already had this thing built. A cave would have been really cool, like maybe like in that corner, or even like down here somewhere. Maybe at some point I'll try to rebuild it and get a cave in there. But for now, I'm just going to kind of leave it as is. But what you see then, as you kind of like get closer into it, you can see there's more terraces hidden inside here. There's another level here with a big tree, and then there's another terrace. It's kind of like a mid-level terrace there. And then there's another one back there. And then there's this tippy top part up here, which is basically a bunch of the merps, the medium rock pieces that I just had a bunch of. And so I just kind of put them together to make like this kind of crown on top, which you see right in here. And that actually gives me another terrace, and it gives me more height so I can get more trees and stuff. Now, if you look at it from this perspective, you can see it's a pretty good scene block. You can see the city, of course, but it's also, it makes it so that Hogwarts is kind of its own entity over here. And so if I go this way and pan out over here, you can kind of see what I mean. So you see Hogwarts with the trees. It's framed nicely. You can do some good pictures and whatnot. I still need to work on the water and stuff in the front, but it makes it, you know, it's pretty varied, and I think it turned out pretty well. I was pretty impressed with that. Now, I'm going to show you over here real quick on this side. So what I've done over here is, in order to transition to the city, I built a miniature rock wall. These are just slopes and bricks, just in random patterns and whatnot through here. I'm going to have some steps up here, so this will kind of be like a small picnic area so people can actually get into the forest a little bit. And then if you look further back, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit here, you can actually see some of the structure that goes underneath it. So the underlying structure is just bricks and some of those big support beam pieces. I had a bunch of those from an earlier project that I never used. And so there's quite a few beams under there, and you can actually see that yellow there are some of the bricks, or the brick foundation of one of the support columns that's kind of holding up everything under there. And eventually what will happen is all of this will all be filled in up to here, and so you won't see any of that. But I left it like that for this video so you could get a feel for you know, for kind of how I'm doing it like behind the scenes, if you want to see that. Now, one area that I need help with, you guys can give me suggestions in those comments down there, is right here. I don't know what to do with this area because obviously the city ends. It's not going to continue on there, so I needed to figure out, I could do like a retaining wall. I could do more trees maybe. I could do some kind of a small, like a facade, although it's going to look funny right next to the forest, I think. What do you think I should do with that area right there? Because that's a glaring gap that I need to fill. And it's got, keeping in mind it's right next to the city. I'm not quite sure. I haven't figured that out yet. So give me some ideas if you could. And let me know what you guys think, because I need to figure that out. But moving back to this mountainside, as I mentioned, most of it is composed of burps and corner burps. And basically, that's kind of the foundation for everything. And from there, it's just a combination of slopes, foliage, green base plates here and there to give like grassy mountaintop, which I'm experimenting more. All my original mountains and all my old mountains that I've done were all just dark bluish gray all the way through. I'm trying to start to mix in where it's appropriate some green, just to give you a little grass. And it also breaks up the solid dark bluish gray. It can be a little blah if there's too much of that, you know, so you kind of want to mix it up a little bit. And then of course there's just some little like Lego pine trees or Christmas trees in there. And then again, the bigger trees mixed with the smaller trees, just with all the variation and all that good stuff. It just really gives you a pretty good feel of what's going on here. So that's it for this little mini update. I'm going to be back real soon with a full city update. So make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you guys keep a lookout for that. I'll be posting once that goes up. It'll probably be like maybe another week or so when I do the full city update. We've got some big changes coming up, got some exciting stuff I'm going to share with you guys. But do let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about this transition over here. This is where I need some help because I'm kind of stuck right now. So let me know your thoughts. And thanks for watching. And I will be back soon. Have a good one.